Yo, this is. What is this, chaps? This is just saying episode 20-1.
20.1. Wait.
20.1, 20-1. So on Monday, so the plan on Monday was to talk about the upcoming RLCS season, go through the rosters, the rumored rosters, the known rosters, and we managed to blab. We got Machtfish and Pyro in here, and I guess we had forgotten what four of us together would mean. So we landed up blabbing for 2 solid hours straight, and we ran out of time. And so we are having a dedicated episode tonight to bring all the RSC action. And on the plus side, though, is Bruv couldn't make it on Monday, but he could make it tonight. So, Bruv, we're glad to have you tonight, but tell us why you left us in the lurch on Monday.
Man, yeah, I feel like I got slightly let off the hook in a way, but I bailed on the podcast on Monday because my team and I were practicing for probably, I mean, no shame to any of the other teams in Prospect, but one of the hardest matchups for the year or for the season against Death Cloud, and we needed that win. So I was out there training on the Rocket League field to prepare for the match that we played yesterday. So that's why I couldn't make it on Monday. But
so
we are here today.
Podcast is important, but league play is importanter.
You know, this brings up an important conversation of club over country. We need to talk about, what is more important to RSC or your own team? And Brav is obviously flying the Cosmico flag, flying high, but he made us very sad back at HQ. So he's got a lot of atoning to do. But
if there's anyone to blame, we can blame Death Cloud because they're on our asses.
That is pretty tight, yeah.
I've just seen in chat that Copy is in chat, and my brain has exploded because Copy is like a blast from the past, and I'm trying to remember when. Anyway, so I've been completely distracted by that. But hello, Copy. I feel like it has been a good number of years since we spoke. But anyway, back to the action here. I know it is so random. All right, guys, and I've also realized I didn't turn my lights on, and no one here told me that I'm looking like I'm in the dark. All right, let's get going, guys. Otherwise, we're going to waffle our way to not talking about RSC again. But there is one bit of news that we must touch on that is RLCS related, and that is that we now have dates of when every regional is going to be, and it looks like this is taken out of the RLCS SSA Discord, and the first regional will be, the qualifiers will be the 22nd and the 23rd of November, and the main event will be 28, 29 and 30 November. So that comes up pretty quick. And then there's a break, like a month and 10 days or something for Regional 2, which is the qualifiers on 10 and 11 January, and the main event 16, 17, 18 January. And Regional number 3 will be 24 and 25 January, and 30, 31 January, and 1st of February. So we have dates. We know when it is happening. So it's starting early, but then we're off for Christmas and we start the new year with a bang.
So I've got 2 things to say about this, right? First one is I saw Werty on Twitter. Oh, that's what your chair looks like. I was always wondering what that was. Anyway, so I saw Werty on Twitter saying, RL Esports, what are we doing? Because I've got December plans and I need a plan around it. And it's nice to see that Psyonix recognizes December in South Africa. There's absolutely no Rocket League in December, and I feel like that's on purpose. That's the first thing, right?
Yes.
And then the second is, we're going to be complete with all 3 splits by the end of January.
Yeah. Which is wild.
That's the first month of the year. And that's crazy. because we only just had Worlds now. Do you think RLCS is going to be more spread out, or do you think they're just compressing it earlier into the year for something else?
Well, we are. There is going to be an expanded ones tournament, and then there's also twos. So that's adding to the schedule. But it still all ends in around June, and then there's July, August, and a bit of September before Worlds. So they've still got that long gap, but from the end of the official end of the second split to the start. So it is all a little strange, but yeah.
And then call it, we call it RLCS 2026, but it's going to be 25-26 again because it's split over.
Yeah, everyone's going to ignore that. It's going to be 26.
Like, guys, why can't we just keep it in a calendar year? But anyway, I'm glad that we have the dates now. I'm glad that literally in a month's time, we're going to have Rocket League.
Sorry, I'm just realizing that that's the second major. The second major, so it all happens fairly quickly because I'm realizing the second major LAN is 22nd of May. So everything's going to be finished by May. So that's June, July, and August. 3 months of nothing, then Worlds. It's crazy. Anyway, but at least we know what's happening. And if you cast your mind back 2 seasons ago, we were getting dates like 2 weeks before the start of hostilities. So at least we've got some kind of planning these days, which is nice. So we take our wins where we can. Hello, Pyro. Sorry we didn't call you in again, but we really need to have a short podcast tonight. So we couldn't have you in again.
Man, we could have gone for another 2 hours easy.
Yeah.
Just with the amount of content that's in there. So I'm glad that we managed to fit in 2 streams this week because RSC is hotting up and it deserves a stream of its own.
Well, speaking of RSC, we are now squeaky bum time. This is where everything counts. It may be already too late for some teams. It's on a knife edge for others. So it absolutely bears going through. And we may as well start with the franchise standings. And there they are. I think this is as of today. I'm assuming all of...
It is, yes.
Yes, okay, because I can see 104 games, 100 games, 96, 104, etc. So that's as of now, and there are still week 7 games being played. But the battle between Deathcloud and Cosmico continues at the top.
Sure, man. From week 1 of RSC, it's been so close between Deathcloud and Cosmico at the top. Monarch creeping ever so silently behind, but I think that's quite a gap. I don't know about you boys, but that's a 20-win gap. I don't know if they're going to catch us. I think it really is just between Cosmico and Deathcloud now for number 1 spot on the franchises. What do you guys think? Do you think it's possible for a comeback there? Or
This is 5 games. This is like one bad week and you guys lose top. Oh my gosh. You hear the chops on this Cosmico boy. Monarch, you guys are still fine. You can catch up. That's 16 points. That's 4 games. Please calm down. Really.
No, Monarch is still in the running. Down from there, it would have to be a monumental choke on the part of Deathcloud and Cosmico to not finish either first or second.
So here's the thing. I just had a look at the games played as well. Monarch on 96, Deathcloud on 104. It means that Monarch has 2 games in the pocket ahead of Deathcloud. So if those games go favorably, you can pick up another 6 points, 2-3-1 victories, and that brings them up to 60. So that's far more palatable than 54-72 and far closer than what these numbers look like. So I agree. Deathcloud, Cosmico, far in the run. But Monarch Ox not too far behind. And let's just give big props to Ox first for their 4th overall standings. And second, for picking up me and showing me what a great organization is to play for. So Ox Gaming in 4th, really well done by them.
I have a question. Why are there teams that look like? Oh, sorry, because this is franchise overall. So there's obviously still games, two tiers that have to play with that. They're on 96. That makes sense now.
That is correct.
Okay.
Correct.
That is a valid question, though. It should be explained that way. That there are 16 possible points that you can get as a franchise every week, because that's 4 games, and each fixture is 4 games. So 4 times 4 is 16, and those are your points. So that's just one good week away from any of the top 5 reasonably putting in a good showing. I would say that it's a little bit chalked for 8th, 9th, and 10th for chasing. But that's where we go down to individual teams. That's where it starts heating up from there. Because it's all good and all finishing in the top, but if you don't take away any silverware, then you're still not going to get franchise of the season.
So we are 100%. Now 2.5 weeks of league play away from the end. So that's the overall broad franchise look at things. Now let's take it tier by tier, and this is prospect, and what you have on the screen is the standings as of the end of last night. And then on the right are the matchups still that are being played this week. So by the end of week 7, there should be 28 games played, and it looks like only 2 of the teams have played their league match this week, and that would have been Omnius and Ox. So that still leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other matches left to be played.
Yeah, I was part of that Ox Rise game. We didn't, unfortunately, win it, as reflected by the standings. But at the end, big ups to Pixel Glitch, Lux, and now I need to get the last guy. He's the guy that gave us a lot of headaches anyway with all the saves. So fantastic game by him. I'm glad that we got the game out of the way early. And I think I demoed Pixel Glitch like 12 times that game. So it was great. It was good times all around.
Can I point
before we hopped on, actually, Bramil was telling me about it, and I said to him, I'm so glad we've versed you guys. We played Ox week 1. I'm so glad that's over and done with, because a man with a vengeance and a man that likes to demo is not a fun man to verse. So I feel for everyone that's versing Ox still for the rest of the season. Good luck with that one. But sorry to cut you off there, GB. You can continue with what you were saying.
How important is place 2 and 3 here? Cosmico and Death Cloud, that is their matchup this week in terms of the standings in prospect, but also the franchise standings that we've just spoken about. I mean, this is a matchup with a lot of. It's a layered matchup, but how important?
Look, I mean, we've already played it. I don't know if that's a caveat or anything, but the result is done. It just hasn't been updated yet.
No, what was the result?
Tell us.
Cosmico 1-3-1. So that's a huge win for Cosmico, roster and in prospect, obviously. So yeah, we can obviously dive more into it next week. But yeah, we ended up winning that game 3-1. Was one of the sweatiest matches I've ever experienced.
This is the one you ditched us for.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Okay, well that gives it more context and maybe a little bit of empathy for why you had to bail. But yeah, that's a huge win. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, but just like rewinding to last week. Obviously, we didn't get a chance to speak about it on Monday, but we are here now. But last week, Cosmico beat AZG. Let me just fix this one up here quickly. Mist ended up, or Death Cloud ended up winning 4-0 again in prospect. Obviously, Jersey Jad pulled it in 3-1. Jokers won 4-0 again. And just to fill you in, guys, Jokers, the Monarch prospect team, this is their 3rd week in a row that they're 4-0'd. And that's really impressive. Taking it from our perspective, we haven't I don't think we've actually 4-0'd one series yet. So the fact that they've done it 3 weeks in a row is very, very impressive. They're really running away with the results now and putting pressure on Death Cloud and Cosmico. But yeah, I just still stand by Flace being one of the best picks in Prospect. 1035 CMV player, second on the power rankings, stats. What a phenomenal player. I'm very scared to verse him. I think in the last week 9, we play Monarch, so that's going to be a scary game. But yeah, that was last week in a nutshell. And Yaks, obviously, they drew against Tigers. So, yeah, looking pretty tight for week 7. A lot of important wins. Very important that AZG wins. But yeah, that's a fight for 6th place there. I don't think Unity is going to take it easy on them. And Shadow and Monarch actually play tonight. I wanted to stream that game, but my priorities is here, so we're not streaming that. But hopefully, hopefully Shadow wins that, and then can make the fight for top 6, top 5 more exciting, and lay off the pressure for Cosmico.
Well, listen, as it stands now, the battle from 6 to 10 is pretty tight. I mean, Yaks didn't do yourselves favors by losing, because you're 4 games to the bad, I guess, or in deficit. But look at that. I mean, eight wins between Nightwalkers, Josie Jazz, Obscurity, Yaks, and then Snowball, just one off the pace there. So with 2 weeks to go, it's pretty tight for that 6th place slot and a shot at play-ins.
So just have a look at this quickly. There's 2 fixtures remaining in the rounds of prospects. And one of them is Nightwalkers and Yaks, which are on the same points. And then the other one is Josie Jazz and Yaks in the last round. So there is going to be some bucklaying for that last 6th spot. I'm telling you right now,
that's 2
the
finals,
contest
basically.
for 6th is going to be more hotly contested than the position in 2nd, because there are some fierce games coming up.
So there we go. So the top 2 looking pretty solid, but still a bit of a bun fight from 5th place on.
Very excited to see how those games turn out. I will try catch whatever I can on my stream, for whatever's not on the RSC stream. But I encourage everyone to try watch as many of those prospect games. It's going to be so like what's the word? Intense.
So damn good. So damn good.
So moving on to Elite, and it's I beg your pardon, Rival. Sorry, I've got a whole thing to say about Elite, but we have to do Rival first. So
it's like, Rival, you're pretty boring. We're going to get to Elite just now. And I'm sure that we'll look at this page quickly and determine something interesting. And the first thing that pops to mind is that the difference between, let's have a look here. The difference between, I think it's 7th and 10th is also so incredibly close. 10 wins for Bulls, and then 8 wins for Roger, which is White Rabbit Gaming. So only 2 games separating 6th and 10th, and with far fewer games difference. And having a look here, I wouldn't be surprised. Nightshade versus Shock. That is one hell of a game, because whoever wins that gets elevated into 6th possession or higher. Has to be. So I'm very interested in the outcome of that. Has that game been played yet? Do we know?
I don't know, but
they play on the 19th.
The 19th. Why
Sunday.
do people do this? Why it's like they
leave
wait
it to
for
the last
Sunday.
day? Yeah.
Who plays a game on Sunday? Now we have to wait all the way until Sunday to find out who wins this one.
It's on Sunday at 11 o'clock at night.
No,
it's not.
Flirty in chat saying that, what did he say? He said, like, me like no prospect and rival. So I'm sure he's wanting as much time as possible to coach them and get them ready for that win. That's my assumption on that.
Got a question, because I don't know how this table may not be up to date, because I'm not sure why Shock and Roger are They're like a week behind.
Yeah, they are a week behind. Let me just have a look here at the table now. Shock are not a week behind anymore. Everybody's square on 24 games. Shock is currently sitting in 5th position, and Roger in 7th. So,
Oh wow, that's a big change.
yeah. So I think it's mainly because Bulls are 0-5-1, Forge is 1-2-3, and Nightshade is 1-2-3. So that's 1 win, 2 draws, 3 losses. And look, there's nothing separating 5th and 10th. Shock, who's in 5th, has got 11 points, and that's 5th position, 11 points.
Oof.
All the way down to 10th position, which is Nightshade, on 9 points. 2 points, 2 game wins. That's a draw. And you put yourself in 5th position.
That's a bigger bun fight than Prospect's lower half.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible, and it just goes down to the picking chops of these franchises, that it is so incredibly close. We've got 2 games left of the season, and we have no idea who our top 6 is going to be.
Crazy.
Oh, it's incredible. Like, to think Celestial or Cosmico has been first majority of the season. If they lose 4-0, touch wood, the next two games, they'll be lost. And if they're all like out of the race completely. So
Yeah.
it's crazy how quick things can shift and change. But just going back to Nightshade and last week, I think a lot of teams should start fearing Nightshade. They've been dead last in 10th the whole season in Rival, and they last week beat the number 1 spot in Celestial. Bromir, you still casted that game.
Yeah, that was incredible.
It was quite a major shock to us as a franchise as well. They played phenomenally. Panda, Raids, and I believe Divine putting in an absolute shift and a half.
Yeah, that was
blowing
really,
us
really
away.
cool to watch. And I was the first one to admit I'd already written them off. I was preparing my color casting, making sure I had something funny to talk about while Nightshade were getting dunked on. And that didn't happen. And I think for, our lovely little game of Rocket League, that has been one of my favorite games of the season so far, because you saw in the way that, their opponents were playing, Nightshade was taking them by surprise. You could see that they went from aggressive to defensive to like, wait, what's going on? This was not the script. They were expecting a few points in this, and I think ultimately the game went down to 3-1. So they did pick up the last one, I think. But oh man, it was just so good. And Raids played so well. When he was talking it up, he's like, I'm going to play so bad. And then he went and completely dived on them. It was a really cool game to watch. The VOD is up if you want to go and watch it. I think it was the 3rd game of the night.
Okay.
Just our little piece of charity work for the season. Just to make people happy there in chat.
Well, here's another bit of randomness, which Rabbit has just mentioned in chat. And I don't know if this is a situation for other teams, but their last 2 sub games they have to get done in the final 2 weeks. So they've left their sub games for the end, which is a little bit of throwing a spanner or a bull in a china shop or whatever the correct analogy is, but that could be very interesting.
Well, the interesting part of that is that they cannot qualify for your finals if they don't get their sub games in. So leaving it for the last two weeks is highly irresponsible, Wabbit, and you as a org runner should have managed that one. But yeah, that's definitely a big one, and I'm not sure if you got anything to add to that, Brav.
But listen, you never know. Those subs might come in and blast.
Exactly. I've been keeping tabs on, and a lot of teams have to play their subs irrespective. Maybe they've only got 3 games left, or what the case may be. I mean, with my team, we also need to play our subs. So I think it's coming to the end of the season where everyone's going to be, using their subs, and I think it's going to make it even more exciting and unpredictable. So it's going to be even better. And it's what a cool experience as a sub, coming in at the end of the season, actually
That's
the most
terrifying,
important
bro.
time.
A
It's
cool experience
terrifying,
is a
but
sub. Like they've left you off. They've handed you the keys to a car that's running well. Don't mess it up. Like
Yeah.
there's mountains of pressure there. And
Yeah.
I can't imagine anything worse as a sub coming in saying we have to play you, otherwise we can't qualify. But also, if you cost us the games, then we don't qualify anyway. So that's like a
Yeah.
lose-lose for a sub, in my honest opinion.
By contrast, Unity, as Voodoo points out, got all their sub games in early, so they don't have that pressure.
Nice.
Should we move on
That's
to
good management.
our next tier?
Yeah, you're talking pointer weights. I'm
Which
interested.
is well, the main. So there are 5 games per tier per week. Three. So a full 60% of the elite matchups are happening on stream tomorrow night.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's gonna be. In fact, I'm gonna sneak back here because we do have. These are the games we're having tomorrow night, and it's just to keep in mind as we look at the table. So Genesix Monarch, Unity Azura. Oh no, that's Prospect. Death Cloud versus Ox, Cosmico, and Shadow. So those are the matches being played tomorrow night on stream.
So 6 out of 10 elite teams are going to be on stream. That's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So I mean, Genesix.
I will not be putting any channel points on Unity.
Yeah, but Genesix having a really, really rough season in elite.
Yeah.
But they could be proper spoilers for. I think they're playing Monarch, so they could ruin Monarch's night by getting a sweep there and overtaking them. Maybe. But it would be a good week for it.
So let's have a look here. Genesix versus Monarch. So that's 7th versus 10th. Then we've got Death Cloud versus Ox. Well, that's first versus second, boys. Are we going to going to highlight how big that game is? And then obviously Cosmico versus Shadow. There's a bit of a disparity there, but it's not the hugest. So these are actually some quality games that we're going to be seeing on stream. I'm pretty excited for each and every one of them. Obviously, the first fixture, which is Genesix versus Monarch, that's the fight for 6th, because they're on 9 points. They want to squeak past midnight, so Kings need a good win against Genesix in order to sneak into the playoffs, the play-in spot. And obviously, the big boys are battling it out at the top, Miasma and Aurochs. So that's going to be a fantastic game to watch, just simply for the fact that these are two of the arguably the best teams in the competition so far. But then have a look at the games won. Mzansi Magic for Unity is 1 point behind, and Cosmico are 1 point behind them. So it is so incredibly close.
I still believe Mzansi Magic is favorites to win elite. I just think they had an off week last week, and I chose the wrong week to bet all my channel points on them. But it's okay. We moved.
But this is the first tier that has a bun fight at the top. Like the top of the others are kind of set, maybe sort of up to 3rd place, but here, in theory, all the way down to 4th is in with a shout. Maybe even 5th if WRG can pull finger, but it's very close to the top half.
I mean, that's the thing. You want your 1st and 2nd position because that's an automatic qualification into the semis, right? You don't have to have a play-in game. You don't have a semi-final of a semi-final. You are there. You're in the top 2. It basically means you get to skip a game and then you go straight to the televised matches at the end. And that's where you want to finish. So make no mistake, this fight between Death Cloud, Ox, and Unity, like you said, bruv, I think I agree with you that Unity team is incredibly strong. So keep an eye on them. They're playing Python this week. So we might see a shift here depending on how the match goes between Miasma and Aurochs. Because Mzansi could put through a good win against Python and then overtake Aurochs, and then you're looking at a new first and second position.
Looking at this table, actually, considering that Death Cloud's playing Ox for the 1 and 2, and Unity is playing Python for 3 and 5, this is the perfect opportunity for Cosmico to swoop in and take second place. If they can 4-0 Shadow by some miracle, which they have not 4-0 yet, but if they could, they move automatically to second. So this is a huge game for Cosmico as well.
I'm not sure what to make of Flosie's comment. He's like, oh, he's chill to take third. If we finish third, we get to play more. I'm like, what? Really?
Do you know what? I sort of agree with that. You have a look at these upsets, getting to cast these final series. So many dark horses actually end up ruining the show for some of the more established ones. And I'm convinced it's because they've already been put through their paces on stream already. And they're locked and loaded. They're ready to go. So I'm not entirely sold that making it into top 2 and skipping a game is completely to your benefit. I feel like getting that warm-up game, although there's risk, does prepare your team well heading into the semis. It's like a free scrim.
Completely disagree.
That just counts for everything.
Okay,
Mr. I'm at the top and I disagree because I only win.
No, hear me out.
Hear me out.
Play-ins and playoffs, right? That's till the final game. If you make it there, that is 3 best of 7s that you have to play through. That is a lot of rock. You could get to like 3 hours worth of Rocket League before you get to the final match, and you will just absolutely spent of all energy and creativity. So I think there's a lot of value for finishing first and second. You still have to play 2 series, but
here's my thing. I want to find out the conversion rate of a team that finished first or second at the end of the season. Did they go on to win? And if they didn't, who was it? Where did they come from? So, what's your percentage chance of finishing first and second and then winning the league? And I'm going to find this out. I'm going to put it on social media, because how important is first or second position? Because I've got a feeling, that Alex DeFatak's crew, they're not usually first and second finishers, but they always finish first and second overall. They make it to the final, which means one of those teams didn't make it through. And it means that I think I've got a point here, and I'm going to prove it to you, bruv. I would bet money, but I've already put too many 100 rands on the table this season already.
So
yeah, fair enough.
So 2 things. One, first of all, Papito has properly admonished Bruv, saying that Cosmico 4-0'd last week. Oops. You bum.
My bad.
Waving the flag for Cosmico, and he just threw Elites under the bus.
Love that one.
And then, guys, at the request of Voodoo and Rabbit, we're not going to cover Master.
Oh,
yeah. No. So we're just going to end the stream now.
No, I can agree that. Yeah, that's fair. I know that there's a bit of trouble going on at the top right now. There always is. There is a problem with synergy in master level teams, especially when you're getting the top tier talent, and you also get top tier egos, and it's a hot pot that doesn't often survive the whole season. And you'll find that maybe the top 4 master teams are the only ones who played consistently throughout, and the rest didn't make it through. So I know that the cracks are really starting to show at this stage of the season, where the guys who've actively been playing together and getting the results, they're still playing, and you'll find a couple of car wrecks along the way, and those are the rest of the master team. So I understand their sentiment. I get why they feel that way.
Okay, but to counter all of that, Flocy has shouted in capital letters. And because it's in capital letters to show Master, I kind of feel compelled. And so let's have a look at Master. There it is.
I mean, I don't blame Flo C. His team is doing phenomenally well. I think they've only lost one series, and that was against White Rabbit. But yeah, like Death Cloud doing super well there. So is Cosmico. So is White Rabbit Gaming. And all the BS is there too. Honestly, that top four, guaranteed one of those teams are gonna win Master Tier, no doubt.
All right. Well, I'm just trying to see the. Okay, so we've got a couple of results in Master. So Death Cloud have played their Week 7 match. So they're 21 points, but Cosmico got the 4 games in hand. So if they do what they're supposed to do, they could, and maybe well, who are they playing? Cosmico are playing Zulu Thunder. Okay, well then they should get the points.
But we'll leave it for next week's podcast. They have already played, so I know the result. I don't know.
Well,
if
then you must give it. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
This is supposed to be
Cosmico
updated
did
to the
win.
minute.
It's not a spoiler. It happened.
Yeah.
It's just we don't have up to date information.
So Cosmico. So what was the result?
They won 3-1.
So that puts them on 22, 21
yes.
for top 2. Oh my word! Is that? That is.
It was so funny because they've only won 3-1 the whole season, and we got to the last game, and I was in the Discord with the boys, and Technic Eagle was like, "Oh, the curse is broken. Finally, we can win a 4-0," and then they lost the last game. It was 3-1.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you take your eye off the prize.
Exactly. But yeah, Master's looking pretty good so far.
But the battle,
I will say,
okay, so I mean, Silverback are fairly far behind Azura, but third, well, theoretically, it's close. It's not really, is it? I mean, first and second seem. I mean, the last 2 weeks, Death Cloud and Cosmico could have absolute blowouts and lose 4-0 and then put their top 2, but it would require a choke for them not to finish top 2.
I've just noticed this now, and it's something massive. That could have ended badly. The artists are the only team, technically broken because they posted 4 forfeits in a row. Then they know where that's that's a GG's go next. But what I'm really, really proud of is to see how few forfeits there were this season when it comes to Masters are like Mercury's in retrograde, I can't play tonight, sorry.
I thought you were talking about Mercury the player.
Man, Rocket League's got you too hard, man.
Yeah, I know. Yes,
but I think it's got to be commended. The only other team who's posted a forfeit in the last 5 games is Aces.
Wow.
And it's just once.
That's amazing. Well, shout out then, because that's huge.
Yeah,
well
that's
done to
massive. It's absolutely massive.
Oh, okay.
I will say with Artis, they did just do like a massive rebuild. So personally, I'm pretty terrified of that team now. I think they're gonna do pretty well with the new players that they've signed. I think they've signed.
Do you still have to play them though, bruv? Does Cosmico still need to play Genesix?
Let me actually check. Doesn't look like it. Check week 9.
You don't have to be too. You don't have to be too terrified. What about Death Cloud? Have they played Artists?
I believe so. Yes, they've already played. We are playing Death Cloud next week though, so that's so not this week, but week 8, which is going to be a massive game for first and second.
And Genesix can. Yeah, okay, fine.
And
I will get those boys to get on the RSC stream for sure. That's going to be a banger one to cast, I'm assuming.
So this is a little bit off topic, but the stats database has updated.
Oh,
So
it means that we can have a look through quickly at the goal scorers and all
okay.
of
Do you want to send me a link quickly, Bromeo, and then
I already have.
Okay, then you guys talk amongst yourselves while I sort that out.
Romeo,
So,
I
Brav, what did you
just
have for
scrolled.
lunch?
I
What's
just
the
scrolled all
solution?
the way to the right on that sheet. I'm not going to say what it is, but you know what I'm looking at, and that is actually awful.
Please
That is
hold
an
your
awful
modesty.
stat.
Okay, hold on 1 second here.
That is
Man,
disgusting.
it is quite a large stat. It leads back to me demoing Pixel Glitch so much. And
No, you meant to hit the ball. You meant to hit the ball.
No, do you know what? Pixel Glitch was putting in such a number on us that I had a chat with the guys. We're down 2 games already, and Pixel Glitch is playing so damn well. So I'm like, boys, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna hurt him, but just him in particular because he's the one doing all the damage. Ultimately, it didn't matter. We came back in the final game pretty strongly, but it was a 3-1. But it would explain that stat quite significantly. But I'm just glad that we get to talk about it because I was very worried for a second that we wouldn't have these stats up.
I mean,
Right,
that
I
is
think
very...
if things have gone according to plan, the stats are now on screen.
They are indeed, GB. They are
Okay.
indeed.
And I'm going to make them bigger.
Yeah, make them bigger.
There we go.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
There we go. That's about as good as. Well, I can do one more, I guess. Yeah, there we go.
One more, and then do a scroll, and then you go all 10.
There you
Hey,
go.
look at that.
So what's this Master League leaderboard?
Wins. Yeah.
Oh,
so
wins.
wins.
Okay, wins
doesn't.
Not a,
Yeah, like wins is cool, but it just means that you're on a winning team.
Okay.
Next one up is goals, and you can see Technic and Casper doing the damage with Jeff as well and Ravi. Friction, look, this is actually very close. You generally see somebody blowing it out by a fair distance.
By distance, yeah.
But there's 10 goals separating the top 10. So well done to each of these.
An interesting. So in Master, where is Ox in Master?
Let me check for you quickly. Ox in Master is currently sitting in 4th.
Okay, because they got 2 players in the top 10 of goals. Death Cloud have got 2. Cosmico 3. 3 players in the top 10 of goals scored, which is pretty cool.
You just have a look at the goal difference, and Supernova, who is Cosmico, has 35 goal difference. They're sitting in 2nd position, but now you can see why. Blade, Technic, and Jeff are putting in plus more than a goal a game each, which means on average, every single one of their games ends as 3 goals or more.
Amazing. So moving along, assists. Cosmico with 2 players, Death Cloud with 3. Lower half of the top 10, but 3 with assists. So that speaks to their team synergy. Werty the lone star for Unity, and again 2 players from Ox.
No, you got to give them consistency for that. There is mid-table for both passes and goals scored. So both players as well. Oh no, the one player is different. Never mind. Okay. But yeah, talk about consistency.
28 assists to Jeff.
Team though, Tweaks and Serenity playing with playing alongside each other, and then Friction, Heatsy, and Tashao also. Massive team. We're talking about Jeff, Technic, Eagle as well, and I'm just having a look at these teams, and a lot of these could be RLCS rosters. They are that good.
Wow, so, listen, they're all. Well, let's see, 1, 2. As you would expect, all of them play RLCS, with the exception of Serenity, who allegedly has retired. But we'll see how that plays out.
He's still playing so damn well.
And then saves, the defensive work. Jeff again. Jeff, top of assists and top of saves. So he's out there in the midfield. He's out there. He's back there on the goal line.
So as a third man, this is incredible because they are on top, you generally see a team with a fragile defense getting in all of the saves because it's generally an indication that they're under pressure. And when you see that a top team also having the most saves, that's extraordinary. So the fact that he's got 52 saves is remarkable.
Crazy, and he's just
Witty down there in sixth. I'm gonna get some clips from the match that they played this week. Man was pulling off the most insane saves. Like that last game we played. I'll get clips. We can watch it next week together. But unbelievable performance by Witty this week. He saves. I'm pretty sure he numbered like at least 10 to 15 saves throughout that series. So he's really putting in the work. He's trying to put his name on the map for Worlds, I think.
Well, he certainly wants to be there. And then clean sheets.
Yeah, clean sheets is a sort of like whatever stat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody cares too deeply about that except Technic Eagle and Jeff on top.
Demos. T-Shao leading the charge with 1 point. No, well, two demos per game though is Legal of Voxy. But with 39 demos, 2 behind T-Shao, who tops the table at 41. But Legal of Voxy's played 5 less games for his with 39. That is crazy.
That is a big total right there. Anything higher than 2 is massive, and it also generally shows the mentality of the team, especially when there's more than 2 players on that top 10 list. 1 player is an anomaly. 2 players, that's a game strat. And T-Shao and Friction, both from Death Cloud, both in the top 3.
All right, moving along to Elite.
Damn.
Winning win percentage. Yeah, whatever. You played games and won some. Good. Goals. Also fit. Look at that. 3 players. Second, third, and fourth. All on 26 goals. Spaker, Tim Tam, and Dulk. But, there we go. The man's in chat. He's been waiting 20. The entire podcast for this.
Man was keen to put this one up, but yeah, you're right. 8th, 9th, and 10th on 20 goals, 5th and 6th on 24. That's how close this is. 9 goals separating 1st and 10th. So again, it's been a very close season with regards to stats as well. There have not been any, a head and shoulders leaders above the rest. Sorry, Flossy, I know you're on top, but well done.
And listen, 2 weeks to go. I mean, theoretically, there's room for this entire table to be completely different in 2 weeks' time.
Definitely.
And make no mistake, it will be different because that is such a small difference between, say, 6th and 1st. 5 goals. That is it. That is the only separator.
There's a name jumping out to me whilst we're looking at these stats, and that's Cloaks. To think this guy was Prospect.
Yeah, Prospect last season,
a year ago.
He's in top 10 in Elite.
Unbelievable.
Crazy. And here he is again in assists. 17 on assists is Clerks. Tim Tam, though. Popcorn, probably not in chat because Tim Tam isn't playing, but she'll be thrilled to see that.
Very good to see. And there's a couple of good names here as well. Sonic, who's been playing nearly every single season since, always featuring in the top 10. And the fact that 3 of the Ox Gaming players are in the top 10 for assists shows that I really need to watch some of their games because that's the game style I want to watch.
And then moving along to saves. Hey, Lamuk. Good to see Lamuk's name up there. 45 saves. How many saves was in Master? I just want to pop up there. 52. Oh, okay. I thought 45 was huge, but 52 up in Master. Okay. That's pretty good for Elite. 45 Lamuk. And at the bottom there, Modzi on 32.
And if you guys are wondering what Silent Oscar's team is, that's a free agent emoji, Fire and Ice. So I'm interested to see how he's ending up. I think he's being picked up by the Genesix Master team. I'm not sure.
Ooh,
Maybe. Well,
interesting.
what I want to point out here is that he's, as a free agent, has played 15 games for his 38 saves. That is 9
That's
fewer
incredible.
than top place. So, I mean, there we see it, two and a half per game. I mean, he clears everyone on the average. So if he gets in full games for the last couple of weeks, we could definitely see him up near the top.
Mm.
Unless, of course, his team get really good at attack and he doesn't have to make saves. They're not. Okay. Clean sheets is whatever. And then demos. How many demos have you, Master was, hold on, 41. 41 demos is the top of Master. In Elite, Lunat with 43, 1.79, but nowhere near Legal Avoxy's 2.05 per game.
Yeah, that is a pretty big stat, and it's good to see the consistency here picking up. There isn't a huge difference in I'd say, the top 5. And Chase, being a demo boy himself, he comes off as so calm and collected, but he's going to demo you, and I appreciate that. Drew also finding himself on the wrong end of a cut. So I hope he finds a team soon if he hasn't already.
Well, he's found an RLCS team, so at least he's got something going for him, which is nice. All right, let's move our way down to Rival, the Rivals, and we'll start with win percentage, which is whatevs, and then into goals. Top scorer, Not Nightmare, 26, but also Skippy, 26. And then Drought 25. So top 3 pretty well. Close. Oh my word, there's 6 goals on this entire table. That is wild.
That's
and
so close.
Between Not Nightmare and Melkman teammates, 6 goals separating first and 10th. So that is huge.
Holy, that is the tightest of the stats I think we've seen so far. But good luck, boys, in your final weeks, in your quest to be top of something. And then assist, Skippy from Unity up at the top at 22. And pretty close up to 4th place. And then a little bit of daylight between the teams after that.
A name I'm so happy to see on this list is Dutch. Man can plan a whole LAN and he can play Rocket League. That's so impressive.
He's
assisting.
He's an assist MVP, man.
Really bringing out the assists, IRL and in game. Gotta love it. And WRG, it's nice to see them up top there as well with Unity, Skippy on top, and that competition for 1st to 4th is really, really hotting up. Only 2 assists difference, and again. The Cosmico team, and you can speak to this because I think you've watched a couple of them. Yeah, how, this gameplay, when you've got all 3 of your teammates in the top 10 for assists, what kind of goals are you scoring?
Yeah, who's scoring the damn goal? Hold on.
That is the problem.
Well, hold on, where does it go? Okay, but so for assists, we got Flash, Pepito, and Jackals, and then Pepito and Jackal scoring the goal. So yeah, okay. So there's a bit of interplay.
Yeah, they would have been doing even better if AZG hadn't thrown them under the cosh last week.
Papito's not going to like that one, but we move.
and then saves. So the saves, the top saves per tier are coming down per tier. So top of Master is 52. Top of Elite was 45, and then top of Rival is 42 with Nice Panda, and followed closely by Onage, and there's Dutch again.
Dutch actually putting some good team spirit in here with the saves and the assists, proving he's a bit of a backbone for this team, and it's nice to see Shadow up there as well, and. Just having a look through his names. Unfortunately, another FA there in 10th place.
But he's done well as an FA. 24 games as a free agent. Well, that's big. No. So
that doesn't count all of your games as a free agent. It means he was on a team and then he got dropped.
Okay, they weren't all as a free. Okay, got you. Alrighty, and then clean sheets, and then demos. 48 demos, Shy Duck.
Oh,
now, I know
word.
Shy Duck. He and I have got a bit of tension on the field when we are opponents. Now, I'm trying to see 43.
That's the highest, yeah?
That is the highest of the league so far.
Yo.
48 demos from Unity's Shy Duck, which
Considering
is
he's
pretty
fine.
aggressive.
Getting
nowhere
average
to be
on
seen.
over two demos a game.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
you're having a look here, the closest 1.67. So he's almost up half a demo per game against any of his opponents. So I can imagine why this Unity team's not too much fun to play against.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
mean,
the-
Skippy's the only one from Unity that's in top 10 on all the stats except well, he's there for demos too, but now we know why he's top 10. Is Shyduck's opening the field every game for him to just do his own thing and play in free play.
So that is also the top average. Legal Voxy at 2.05, but Shy Duck taking it at 2.09.
That's very impressive.
Now, I have a question about third place from Genesix, because I don't know if that's English Gids or Afrikaans Gids.
It's kids.
It's Gids, okay. There we go. Question asked and answered. And then our Prospect Boys. Prospect Boys starting with win percentage. Bruv at the top. Congratulations. High fives, bruv.
Thanks.
And then moving along to goals. 36 goals at the top. Place,
That
y'all.
is huge. That is huge. That's the most, I think.
Yeah, by far.
Is it?
Yeah.
Look, Creven in
36,
second spot
26,
as well.
29, 31. So that is top for the entire league, place, y'all.
Yeah, and Creven 5 goals behind, same team. So you must know that the hurt that they're putting on, all of these other teams. Prospect's hard to be in right now because of those guys. And I won't lie, the fixture I played against them was not very fun at all. So I'm not surprised they're putting in the goals that they have. They're ruthless. They're efficient. They don't mess around. They take their opportunities and they score a lot of goals. So
Who's the third on Monarch Prospect?
let me get that for you quickly.
Swifty, but it's between Swifty and A50 Kluter. But I think Swifty is their third.
Because the reason I'm
50
asking
rounds.
there, because if we look over in the other stat, their assists, it's Creven and Flace. And I'm like, okay, so that it's like, where's their
Just look to
third?
see
What
if he's
exactly is
hiding
he
out back
doing?
in saves. See if he's hiding out in saves, because
Probably.
either that or they don't need to make that many because they're
Yeah.
too busy scoring goals.
Sure.
He's probably there in saves. I would not be surprised. The Creven and Flace is probably just like, Swifty, just set in the goals. We will handle the rest.
And who
Well,
is
if you have a look here, just
Yeah.
Flace and Creven, you've combined their average. It means that they average 3 goals a game between them, which means the
That's
average
crazy.
score without their teammate is 3 goals for every game.
crazy?
Which, nuts.
Is Pixel Glitch English?
He is, yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Like living in England and playing from there, or is he England and bit of a
plays
Soti
out
made
of
his
the
way
UK.
over here?
Yeah. Now he plays out of the UK.
Oh,
No wonder he
wow.
was so easy to demo.
Ouch,
180
shots
milliseconds
fired,
too late.
shots
I'm so
fired.
salty. He beat us hard last night, so I'm going to take my shots where I can get them.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, and then Big Ben Kahuna hanging in there at the bottom of these 20 goals for AZG. And then assists, 23, Creven and Flace, who we've just spoken about. Yep.
No. I was looking at Creven Place. I thought it was saves for a second.
Oh, okay. And then, well, let's go to the saves. They don't feature at all. There's nobody from Monarch in saves.
There's nothing going on here for Monarch with regards to saves. They just don't need to save. They're like, you can score your goals. We're just going to score more.
Score more.
Okay, Pixel Glitch is South African, but he moved to Bristol. So he's a South African playing out of the UK. Okay. All right. Thanks, Voodoo. But Berserker at the top of the pops in saves with 40. What's the saves? 42, 45. Oh, this is the one. Yeah. Okay. So the saves have very much gone down by tier. 52 at the
Yeah.
top, 40 in prospect. But Berserker takes a top, but not by much. Only 6, 7, 12 goals between first and 10th.
Yeah, that's not much at all. And given the way that I've seen some of these saves, I know that prospect has gotten really, really hard because it's not the prospect of season 1 RSC. And I'll be the first one to say, like, look, I'm not getting any better, but I do think that the entire level of prospect has gotten a whole lot better, just with regards to basic mechanics.
And I like there that number 3 is getting saves with a high frequency. God, that is so bad. Let's just move on. Clean sheets and then demos. Holy moly! Look at this animal. Look at this animal. Top in the whole league. 52 demos, 2.74. Romeo, do you do anything else?
Do you know this? I get asked this question quite often. I prefer calling them aggressive rotations, and most of those demos are of silly things like kickoffs and guys trying to stand in my way as I drive by. It's not my fault it's so high. It's the players that I'm playing against. They're just there. They get exploded, and then there's that. I still play the game. My teammates can, jump in to like defend me at some point. And my opponents, I suppose, every 3 seconds. But no, it's just a way that I play the game, I suppose. It doesn't show that I play the game very well because I've only played 19 out of a possible 28 because my Unity handlers wouldn't release me into the wild and let me play. They decided they were going to sit me on the bench and then kick me. And
not that you're bitter or anything.
No, not at all, not at all. So I will sit and ruminate of it and hold it close to my heart because in week 9, the final game of the season, it is Unity versus Ox, my team. So it is the team that dropped me versus the team that picked me up. And I will not be casting that day. I will be exploding Unity cars.
And big shout out here, bottom of the in 10th place for demos with 26 is Vinko, Devour's dad. So really, really cool to see him feature somewhere here. So shout out to Vinko and his demos.
Just a thing. That's a different chaos.
Oh, God damn it.
Chaos AD is Vinko.
Okay.
Chaos is just chaos.
Oh, well, no. All right. Well, I withdraw the shout out.
I want to quickly rewind to us asking Bromeo, what else do you do on the field other than demos? And I just had a quick search on his player profile. And man is first for amount of boost stolen, amount of big pads stolen, and small pads stolen in prospect.
Yeah, so I steal boost and then I make it go boom.
Yeah. there's a lot more than just demos, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I do other things too. Don't hate me.
All righty. Well, there you go. That's a summary of the stats as they stand halfway through week 7. Week 8, half of week 7, all of week 8, all of week 9 still to come. And then, of course, the teams that make playoffs will do some stat padding before the end of the season. And gents, I think that brings us then to second. I think that's going to bring us. That's the end of the state of play as it stands right now. And then Bromeo, over to you because there's more we need to talk about.
Yeah, there is. I want to talk about this quickly, and it's just so nice to see it start to kick off the ground from such humble beginnings. The UGL just completed its third week in a row. And for those of you who don't know what the UGL, it's the Underground League. It's the league for all the guys who want to play games with other people, no matter what org you're from, even if you don't have an org. And that's sort of the whole point, is that there were a lot of people who weren't selected. or cut from their team, they still must play in some games, and we still want to see them. So the boys at AZG have been clipping these. They've been broadcasting the games every Tuesday. I think at 7 or 8 o'clock. I'll confirm that for you. And the first clip I want to show you guys is the clip from last week.
And this is game 3, am I correct?
Yes, this is game 3.
That's cool.
So it's 1-1.
Ooh, and then
Like you can try your best to like avoid them or like.
What are we watching here? So this is best of
And
5.
Zan-
How does it work? What's the format?
Is one guy gonna take it?
So
over
it is a best of 5.
bottom
The
is
teams are always
Double
outcasts
commits,
versus rejects. And
seeing
you
the double
can see
tap.
through some of the
Oh.
replays. Yeah, sure.
Was it a
Oscar,
speed flip
who
off the
didn't
roof?
have a team
Like
last
slow.
week, he's been clipping on boys this week.
Beautiful 50 as well.
And
Poland's on
Wolu, Zan,
Maybe.
and I'm not
does?
sure of all of these
He's doing
names.
the
but
overplay,
that's
and he
brilliant
does
thing about this is
again.
that there's so many players who we haven't gotten to see
think
this
we're gonna
whole
have overtime.
season that
It's not
now
hard
we're
passes, it's
seeing
back.
some cracked play
Ooh.
from. And you can also see guys
Oh, silent
playing
pop.
Back to the
across teams.
conversation
So
with
you can
demos.
see
Playing with demos is, like,
you
just
can
as
see a
difficult
Clerks
to
play
learn as
with
any other mechanic.
somebody else who scored a lot of goals.
That's true.
And it wouldn't
Shit,
break
'cause
any
you need to
rules because they're no
input
real
before,
teams. So every Tuesday it's sort of like a captain's
Demoed
pick sort of
again by
vibe.
Zan.
Poland is on it.
Can he get the
And,
double?
You just
And he
get to
does!
see games like this,
Oh.
Little
and they get
touches.
broadcasted by the AZG guys. So if you wondered if your calendar for Rocket League was full enough already, Monday is the podcast officially,
And one.
and Tuesday is where you get to watch the UGL. So thanks to Silver and the boys at AZG, they're running this thing every week. They're casting the games, and it's a lot of fun to play with. So I'm asking my captain this coming week not to schedule our game at the exact same time that the UGL is set to take place at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday, so that I can play there too. So,
Nice.
boys, if you're watching, come play with me. Even Bruv said he's going to come and play next week.
Okay, good.
He didn't say that. I just committed to him.
Yeah, well,
now I'll be
absolutely.
there.
Throw him in there. And then there was 2 other clips, Bromeo.
Yeah, so this was a little bit of shithousery from last night. I hopped into the stream, and I think these are clips just taken from the latter half of that stream. So you can just pop them up there if you want. It's
And this
more
is game 3,
listening
am
to
I
what
correct?
the cast is
This is game
saying.
3.
Okay, hold
So
on.
it's
one
1-1.
second. Let me. That's
So the
Oh,
question,
and then-
are
like you
all the
can
teams,
try your-
is it tier based, or do they just, whoever rocks up on the day, they try even it out as much as possible?
So it is tier based. The more people that sign up for the UGL, the closer in rank it'll be. Because the teams are auto assigned and auto balanced. And so the more people who sign up, the closer it'll be. They've been mixed teams so far. So I think they did a mixed elite and master, and then a mixed prospect and rival last week, just for the amount
Okay.
of players that were available.
All right, here's the first clip.
Especially if the ratio of goals to seconds being counted is so quick in succession. It is possible.
That
I
was
know you
absolutely
get games.
filthy from Yash, though.
Yeah, you usually get.
So this one was when Ibby from AZG
Especially if the ratio
told
of
us
goals
mid-clip
to
that
seconds being counted
Milk
is
Tart
so
is
quick in
overrated.
succession.
And
It is possible.
I could
I
not
know
leave
you
that
get
lying
games.
down. There must be Yash, though. statistical probabilities
You
tied
usually
to,
get,
shortcomings when it comes to somebody saying that they don't like Milk Tart. I've never heard somebody ever say they don't like Milk Tart. And I think I quietly molded over that for like the rest of the episode, because it's just such an un-South African thing to say. So you must watch in the stream for takes as bad as that.
Oh, here's the
Because-
other one.
Yeah, I can't.
Tart or a sweet confectioner.
Oh, is this the
Okay.
same
They
one?
are
No, it's
Cook
not.
Sisters,
Is this the
because
same
Cook
clip?
Sisters is fun
I
to
did-
have.
No, it's not.
It's
Why are
There-
you
sweet,
this is him. This is him talking about the milk tart.
a tart or a sweet confectioner. I would
Okay.
suggest they are Cook Sisters because Cook Sisters is fun to have.
Why?
It's-
No, this is him trying to backtrack and say Cook Sisters are good too, but everybody likes Cook Sisters. So
Yeah, well,
no, there were some good goals. You saw them over there. Wabbit putting an absolute shift during the UGL, and he's the GM for Monarch. So it was really, really cool to see him play. I jumped in with the casters, and we played a casters game against the winning team as well. And naturally, we won. We didn't win, but we won according to the records. So
Boys,
that's
I
what
have
you
a
have to look
proposal.
forward to. Yeah.
I've got
All
a
right, so-
proposal. GB, I
Yeah.
don't know what your schedule looks like, but what if we formed
What
a
if?
podcast team for next Tuesday and every prospect and rival player can sign up and verse us? What do you say?
I
Oh,
mean, what's your
Jesus,
Tuesday looking like, GB?
I'm very full.
Ah.
That's putting
Maybe
that's,
we
put-
get raids.
that's putting me in a competitive situation, which is horrendous. But sure, I'll sign up for that.
I mean, I
Hey,
promise I can demo a few people. That's all I
Okay.
can offer.
I'll be the
Um,
tomorrow support.
All right. So from my side of things, the next stream is going to be RSC channel tomorrow night for the
Yeah.
4 stream games. 3 of those are elite, 1 prospect. We are short some casters, so if you want to cast any casters out there, please get in touch. We've got Bromeo and Borky and maybe Muzz for 1 series. So we need 2 casters, and we also need a game admin. So if you would like to fill any of these roles, please do get in touch with me. But so we have now been an hour and 10 minutes talking about RSC. So it's a good thing we didn't do it on Monday, because that would have been, it was already the longest podcast we've had at 2 hours. It would have been 3 hours had we pressed on. And I think our view count would have been exhausted by then, and so would have we.
On the floor.
But I'm very glad we got to break it down. It's going to be even more tight next week. I think by the time we're doing this next week, the tables aren't going to be as much of a bun fight. It's going to tighten up over the next couple of weeks, and I can't
Tight
wait
buns.
to see it.
Tight buns.
Say what?
Tight buns.
Oh, very tight buns. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to wrap things up here. We're going to go and raid Pyro J to thank him for all his efforts on Monday. So go and say how's it to him. We'll see you tomorrow night on stream for the 4 games streamed, week 7 games, and then the podcast after that, and so much more. Do stay tuned. But until then, peace. All right, the raid went through, I think.
Yeah. Live on Justin.tv. What?
Yeah, this is kind of weird. I don't know what that means.